The problem is not that you don't know exactly what to look out for in the market. The problem is that you do not have an entry models that you follow. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you two models that you can use whenever you want to start trading. You can put it in your trading plan and you know exactly what to look out for when you get in the market. So let's get straight into it. If you're new to this channel, do not forget to click on the subscribe button because I teach strategies on how to trade synthetic indices and every other financial market, even if you are a beginner. So let's get straight into the model. So I'm going to be showing you just two. There are different models that I use and it has worked perfectly for me, but I'm going to be showing you just two in this video. So the first one is this. Let's say market is in an uptrend. Let's say market is in an uptrend. Let's draw a graphical representation before we go right on charts. Let's say we are in an uptrend and market creates something like this. And before we break our external structure, which is our external high, before we break this particular high, market creates a low. Market creates a low. We have something like this being created. Then we go ahead to break structure to the upside. Now, this is our break of structure to the upside. Before market actually took out this high, this low is being created as liquidity. So the next thing you're just expecting market to come back to do is come back to take out this liquidity before we continue to the upside. This is the first model. Anytime you see market create something like this, you are expecting it to come back to take that liquidity. So this format follows break of structure, liquidity map out, point of interest, and definitely your entry confirmation. You definitely want to get entry confirmation after market takes out the liquidity and you just proceed to continue the buy. And the second model I'm going to be showing you is this. So if we're in an uptrend and let's say market did not create a low before breaking out, if we do not have a creation of low before market breaks out this external, we just have something like this. Maybe market filled up that place properly and we have a break of structure to the upside. And after the break, we have market just creates a short low and then continue to the upside. This is still almost the same as this because we followed the pattern of break of structure, liquidity creation, and point of interest. So you can see that we had a break of structure to the upside and market created this low as unsupported low. So we'll just use the breaker for a continuation. So what we're just expecting is for market to come back and take this low as our liquidity, and then we're going to proceed to the upside. So those are the two models that you can actually look out for when it comes to you looking for what to trade in the market. Same thing for the downtrend. So let's see how this works on the chart. I'm just going to show you a few charts and then you can backtest the rest for yourself. So let's go on the chart and explain this. So this is volatility 10-1S and the same thing happened right here. So we had a break of structure to the upside. See what we had here? A break of structure to the upside. Now, before we had this break of structure to the upside, we had something like this here too. There was a break to the upside and market created this particular low before we had a break of structure to the upside. You can see that we had two lows created, this and this. So it is also like a trend line, very short term trend line there. Okay, it was like a very short trend line, but those are the lows created before market gave us a break of structure. And you can see the market had to come back to take those lows and use a point of interest for a continuation. So if you check your 30 minutes or 15 minutes time frame, you are going to see a confirmation for this continuation to the upside. Now, when we had that continuation to the upside, we had a break of structure. You can see that this low was the low created before we had that break of structure to the upside. And market also created this particular low. So we're just going to be marking out this low for market to come back into and take. So you can see that we eventually came back to take this low before market proceeded to the upside. This low is the liquidity market was seeking after. And then market peaked into our point of interest and then we started moving to the upside. So if you had gotten a confirmation, a small change of character right when market entered into this PO high, then you would have just joined the market until market takes out this high. Now, if we have this proper break of structure to the upside, so let's mark that out. If we have this proper break of structure to the upside, if we have this proper break of structure with a body candle to the upside, this low is the low we're going to be expecting market to come back to come and take as our liquidity for a continuation to the upside. So this model is very simple. Now let me show you the other model, but let's check other assets and see if we can see that model there. So I'm going to be checking on volatility 10. Let's check on volatility 10 and see the other model. So on this volatility 10, here is what we have here. We have a break of structure to the downside. You can see that market gave us that liquidity void. We had that impulse to the downside. And after that impulse to the downside, market created this high, which serves as our liquidity. So what we're just going to be expecting market to do is come back to our breaker. Of course, we're going to be using our point of interest with this. We're expecting it to come into our breaker and possibly fill up this particular fair value gap. And that is exactly what it did. And you can see that market already gave us a short change of character, giving us the signal that we want to continue to the downside until we break this low. So that is how simple the models are. You can backtest it on your chart and see how it works and see how you can refine it. So that's going to be all for this video, guys. If you learned something new, drop it in the comment section, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.